The room was already standing when he decided to end me. Mortarboards tilted back. Cameras up. Applause dying into a confused hush as my name echoed through the hall. I'd earned the podium, valedictorian. Summa cum laude, but he took it from me with a smile sharpened for blood. "You're not my real daughter anyway," he said, loud enough to carry. "And as of today, I'm cutting you off." Gasps rippled like a dropped tray of glass. I didn't flinch. I didn't cry. I smiled, stood, and walked to the podium he thought he owned. "Understood," I said into the mic, calm. Polite. Final. That was the moment the envelope warmed in my palm. I grew up believing loyalty was inherited. He taught me that. Taught me how to read contracts before bedtime stories. How to listen more than I spoke. How to sit still when men with louder voices tried to drown you. He paid for tutors, yes. But he paid attention. He came to recitals. He corrected my posture. He called me kid when no one else was around. When I won my first scholarship, he didn't clap. He nodded. Approval, rationed. I mistook that rationing for love. His wife, my stepmother, smiled like a mirror. Everything reflected back to him. She never liked me. Not openly. Just enough to bruise. A forgotten invite. A changed seating chart. A whisper where I could hear the shape of it. I learned early, if you want truth, watch who benefits from silence. The suspicion came quietly. A bank letter sent to the wrong address. A trust amendment dated 2 weeks before my 18th birthday. A lab bill tucked inside a folder labeled taxes. DNA. I didn't confront. I don't do confrontations without leverage. I ordered my own test. Then another. Then his wife's. Through a private investigator who knew which clinics cut corners and which never did. Results don't lie. People do. The numbers lined up like soldiers. He wasn't my biological father. Her son was. That was the night the pain burned off and left something colder behind. I planned the way I was taught, methodical, invisible. I audited the trusts he'd set up for my future. I read the clauses no one reads. The ones that wake up only when triggered. I documented the affair that predated my birth. The forged signatures. The shell accounts that funneled money through a foundation in my name, convenient. Sloppy, arrogant. I didn't rush. Revenge isn't loud when it's done right. It hums. I timed the filings. I pre-notified the board. I placed the envelope where it would be seen, not seized. And I waited for a room full of witnesses. Back at the podium, the mic picked up my breath. The hall leaned forward. "Since we're sharing DNA secrets," I said. And held up the envelope. I brought receipts. His wife's face drained first. Always a second ahead of him. Always the mirror. "I'm not your biological daughter," I continued. "You're right. But your trust doesn't care about biology. It cares about authorship." I slid the documents across the podium, one by one. The amendment he'd signed. The clause that transferred voting rights to the beneficiary upon public disinheritance. The line he never thought I'd read. "I authored the foundation you used to launder funds," I said. "Which makes me the controlling interest." Silence. The kind that presses. "And this," I added, lifting the DNA report, "explains why your wife's son is your son." The gasp this time was different. Heavier. The cameras found her. Found him. Found the tremor in his jaw as the math arrived. "I activated the trust," I said. Quietly. "An hour ago." Phones buzzed. Board members checked emails. The university president stared at his shoes. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. Who just fired the men who owned 76% of the shares? He tried to speak. I held up a finger. He stopped. Muscle memory. "I didn't come for money," I said. "I came for accuracy." I stepped back from the mic. Applause didn't start right away. It never does when truth lands clean. Then it rolled in, unsure, then certain. The hall stood again, this time for me. The fallout was efficient. He resigned, for health reasons. She disappeared behind attorneys. The foundation was dissolved, rebuilt, and audited under my name. Scholarships rerouted. Boards reshuffled. Quiet consequences for loud sins. He called once. Left a voicemail. Apologies are useless when they arrive late and alone. I didn't call back. Now, when I think of that night, I don't remember the gasps.